probably job-wise for Albie. And it's just a kick in the gut for our poor thing. You're fine, yeah. But I will say this. You're a person, you're an extremist, Alice. You're an extremist. Yesterday, conforming to a very tight diet. Today,
I'm having a cheat day today because it was a tough day.
Exactly. It was a tough day. Cheat day today. There's candy corn over there, which I'm a fan of. I'm a candy corn guy. I believe in it. You've gone from one extreme to the other. You're now wearing a sweatshirt. Yesterday, your left breast was exposed for the entire show, which, by the way, you got some very nice comments on that breast. Well done.
Where?
And I think it's great for all sorts of corners. Well, it's up on Locals, by the way, but also it's been distributed. I didn't do it, I assure you. But
what comments?
But there are good comments on it. It's and I think congratulations on being so handsome a lady. That's great. Yeah, and so you looked lovely yesterday. Good show once again. And of course, by the way, yesterday the TikTok is one in which features you and your breast, and of course
TikTokers don't like breasts.
TikTok is absolutely gay, and they have no use for
breasts.
They have no use for Alice Shattuck. Kind of funny. I like the wholesale rejection. But the funny thing is, I'm on TikTok and I'll do a thing where my fat face is in the camera, and like it gets all sorts of numbers.
Well, yeah, people like face in the camera weirdness on TikTok.
You mean my handsomeness, Alice?
Who wouldn't want your fat face right up in front of them?
I said, Alice, for your next marriage, you should marry a finance guy so you don't have to deal with any of this stuff. And she said, yeah, I will.
No, I said, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. And there was no, she's so tired that I'm just getting the truth today. So this is why, one of these things when you're married, you probably know, when your wife is tired and honest, don't ask sensitive things because you don't want to know. I will not be asking about my prowess in any department whatsoever. I will not be asking anything that I don't want the truth, the horrible truth to. I have a couple of observations.
Okay.
One, so it's interesting how things work here. I took a walk today. I knew it would be a long one, a 7-miler. Yep. But VB called me, and he's talking about stuff that projects he might be doing, etc. Because they whacked him at his radio station. So we talked for about 45 minutes. So what that meant was, since I was talking to him, I couldn't walk up any of the hills I usually walk up because either he would call 911 because of my breathing, or it's impossible to talk because I go up some really steep hills. So that means that I had to do my usual walk, which is from this town to the next town, and I had to do it backwards. And let me tell you something else. Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening.
It's a totally different walk when you do it in reverse. You see, I saw fields I hadn't seen. I saw corn. I saw all sorts of stuff.
But it was the same walk.
Same walk. But you don't, when you approach it from
you're facing the other way.
Opposite angle, you see all sorts of stuff I couldn't believe, how pretty.
It seems impossible.
No, dude. Oh, this is Phoebe.
What are you? Oh, you have to hold the phone.
Oh, how dare he? Oh.
What's wrong?
Bastard. It's him. He just sent me a piece of... He knows this is a problem I have. He just sent me a picture of slices of pizza with him taking the grease off with napkins.
Wow.
Yeah, that's terrible. Look what kind of person would do that.
Save it for the food show.
No,
save it for the food show.
No, well, that shows a person's character. If you're the kind of person that does that, you're capable of anything. So that was my thing in my walk. I also saw the wife, the lady who mows her lawn, who's really pretty. And she's not really pretty. I think she may actually be in the pretty business because her hair is below her rear end and very blonde. So I wonder if she's in the pretty business. I'm
In
serious.
the pretty business.
Nobody that pretty ever mows the lawn, and she lives with a guy in that house. And I don't.
Maybe your husband works in radio, so.
Well, right. Well, here's another thing. In the what? What just happened? Here's one other thing. There are two very pretty young ladies who work at the supermarket that I often go to. Mm-hmm. And they're very pretty, okay? So one I've talked about here being a really positive attitude. Mm-hmm. One is hardly like made up at all and is very very modestly dressed. One is made up, etc. But they look identical. They look so like at core they look like they're sisters. Mm-hmm. So I've wanted to know because they look like facial structure like they're sisters. Mm-hmm. And so today, for the first about you're going to hear that noise again and again and again. Something is happening.
Did you creep them out by asking them if they're sisters?
Well, this is the whole thing. So I've wanted to ask forever, like, but they've never been together. Today they were together. One was begging for the other one. And I thought this is my chance to go ask them. And as I was approaching, then they hit the light. And the light went off. I don't think it was because of me, but I mean, it's very well could.
Is that their predator signal?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Exactly right. And then they were lingering together near the little.
The old man who's always staring at us is coming. Quick.
Yeah, that is true. But I just wanted to know if they were sisters, but I was afraid to ask because at this point now I had been gazing over there. Yeah, and I'm sure, like I think women.
Do you think I'm gonna bail you out when you get arrested?
For what? Like I'm not gonna do anything.
Okay.
I was just gonna ask a question, but it probably would escalate actually into me asking a question, into having to be bear sprayed by the cops and then tased, and then shot dead as I try to get up, and then everybody there would be absolutely fine with it. Then you can move on to your finance guy, and then I'm out of the picture. But I don't get to know. And now that was my only chance to ever ask. But I want to know. But then again, like, why would I want to know? Because what am I going to do with that information? Like, look them up and then like stalk them and this is. So anyway, I think they're sisters. If you're listening to the show and you know the marketplaces around here where people buy groceries, just find out if they're sisters. Somebody else asked. They're very disparate styles. One is like you and your sister, I think, could pass off as sisters, right?
Yeah, I think so.
But one is a brown version and one's a yellow version, right?
You're allowed to say that.
Right? That's right. You're the yellow version.
Hair colors.
Well, in complexion, you're the yellow one, and she's the brown one, right? Should we on? Should I leave?
We're both white for clarity.
So you guys are
Although flashbacks to when we were at camp and somebody asked if we had the same father.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That is great. That is great. This is Serbian camp?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. All right, so I'm done. So I did the walk, right? VB phone call. The pretty
Mark girls.
Mark girls. Right. Okay. So
this show has really gone off the rails.
Was it on a rail whatsoever?
Well, I had a plan of what I wanted to talk about.
I mean, I can talk about what I talked about in Connecticut today, but let me let you lead, please. You're looking great, Alice. You even look great with clothes on. That's a great. That's a great thing. Thank you.
Thank you. So this is a story that I had this yesterday. It was starting to be sort of a big story, but I didn't want to bring it up at the end of the Patreon show when you were tired and not as many people get to hear it. Well, sometimes you're like, well, do we have anything else? And I start to bring things up and you're like, okay, like you're like trying to rapid fire get through my topics because you're not really interested in them. So I wanted to do this one when you were fresh. Sometimes you lean your head on the microphone like this while I'm talking.
Yeah. Oh, that's when you just keep on going and you get topic after topic after topic.
But anyway, so I would like you to play. This is an interaction that happened in some kind of state park, I think.
Okay.
And it sparked a lot of debate online, and I have a lot of thoughts on it, and I think you will too.
All right, here we go.
So I'm barred from going to a park because of a service animal.
What?
Do you own this park?
I live right up there.
So do I.
In this 3 times a week.
Okay, so? Do you own this park?
Service animals are not allowed.
Do you own this park?
Dogs are not allowed on this trail. I'm recording you guys.
We're from the community college, that's fine.
What?
We're from the community college, that's why we're here today. We're on a field trip. So this service dog's allowed in the classroom as well. I'm pretty sure it's a federally protected law.
Yeah.
No, this is not. This belongs to the city of Fort Collins.
So the way the federal law works,
You're saying that the American with Disabilities Act doesn't apply to
federal law trumps state
to
law.
to city of Fort Collins regulations.
When you have a protected wildlife area, dogs are not allowed. That is a hard and fast rule. Did you see the disturbance of the animals around you as you walked?
So service dogs are legally permitted anywhere in the country that visitors can go.
So
Even if dogs are excluded, this is a service animal. So you can call the authorities all you want, but technically this is a completely legal thing.
Did you know that there are
let's-
protected?
we're gonna move on. Okay.
All right. You guys.
It's a tough one.
It's hard to find anybody to like there,
Yeah,
isn't it?
that's a tough one.
And this sparked a lot of debate. Now, to clarify, none of the people in this video appears to be like blind or like needing like a.
We know service dogs are horse bleep.
Well, so I think
with a few exceptions.
There are a few exceptions. There are some cases where service dogs do make sense. Although I question even in those if it's like strictly necessary, like if there's not other ways one could get a similar outcome to without needing to bring a dog everywhere. It seems like a really inefficient way to handle disabilities in 2024. It's like I'm going to bring this animal with me everywhere. And people have like pit bulls that are service animals. But the ones that I know of that seem like somewhat legit to me are seeing eye dogs. Like literally who lead blind people, and the ones that detect seizures and like alert somebody when there's a seizure and are trained to do specific things, right?
Yes, and I've seen some in action for veterans who are suicidal.
Right.
And they're awesome, these dogs.
Yeah, I just like, but does that justify like, so you get to take a dog everywhere you go because of that? It's one thing in like housing, like, okay, I need to have this dog with me because I'm suicidal. So the other piece of this is that there are legit service dogs that are trained to do specific tasks, which all of those things would fall under, right? Those are the ones that are covered by the American with Disabilities Act. And then there's emotional support animals, which you can order a certificate for online and can be like an iguana. And people just rely on most people not knowing the difference. So they do it. I mean, so this has sparked a lot of debate because, I don't know, Andrew Gruel that we talked about, who's a chef, he has a bunch of restaurants in California, and he was saying that they had somebody bring a goat into a restaurant that was a service animal. Like, there's people with pit bulls that are service animals. And essentially, I think that between the sort of fraudster aspect of people having fake service animals and just the annoyingness of people bringing dogs where they're not allowed to bring dogs and being like, it's a service animal, the Americans with Disabilities Act, excuse me, that there is like really a hate element here to people who feel the need to bring their dogs everywhere,
right?
Whether fraudulently or in an acceptable way. And I think, honestly, at least for me, I don't know how other people feel about this, but I think at least for me, it's really worn down my acceptance of quote unquote real service animals and made me question them much more because people are so fraudulent about it.
Oh, totally.
So, like I say, nobody in this video appears to have any kind of visible disability, which I know isn't a prerequisite, but like that being said, this lady's also annoying. It's not her park. And
the moment, that's the problem is, first of all, the way she does it is terrible, terrible. She just comes off just like such a pain in the ass. That's at the moment the dudes were citing federal laws. Oh, everybody in this thing sucks. Somebody should come and shoot the dog, I think.
But then it sparked a lot of debate because a bunch of people were saying like, oh, well, my dog should be able to go anywhere kids can go. Kids are grosser and more terrible than dogs. And like, I like dogs a lot. Probably like more than you.
You could have fooled me.
I like dogs a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm like not a big believer in like you should be able to take dogs anywhere.
Correct. I agree. I mean, okay, so are there health concerns or are there not?
Well, right.
So, like, actually, we were just seeing some restaurant or whatever just had to suddenly become dog. Everybody can bring their dog inside the restaurant. They're like, get your freaking thing out of the restaurant. Just come on. I mean, outside cafes, I guess, but just other than that. And now I think people feel too pressured because it's becoming the norm. So other people are letting their dogs in, and this. I mean, I don't know. And also like let's stop it at dogs. That's enough.
No other service animals.
No, stupid bunnies and stuff. No. And all, yeah. I also. It just doesn't make the whole racket is funny, you know, because our kids have the Kansas service dogs at their school.
Mm-hmm.
They also have a dog at home. So what's the Kansas service dog going to do that our stupid hound dog can't already do?
It's specially trained. It has a vest.
Yeah, it has a vest. It's funny. A lady who had the No Justice, No Peace house down the street, the mansion, her dog came running at me like a month ago, and he had the vest on.
Oh, so he's a service dog?
He's not. She just said that she uses the vest to pull him upstairs sometimes because he's lame sometimes. But I mean, it just shows you the vests are ubiquitous. You can just get the vest anywhere, and you can do the thing anywhere. Yeah, I have no problem. I don't like any of these people in here involved in that. Any of them. Somebody, what should happen is probably B-52 should have flown overhead and just carpet bombed the entire area. And that's probably it. Not one of the band members.
That's actually what Julian Bell said in the chat. Drone hit on the trail would be appropriate.
Yeah. What else we got?
So Frank Luntz has good news for all of us. He shared this really great article. Let me get back to it. He shared a great article about the cost of Thanksgiving this year.
Oh, yes, this is great.
Which you'll be pleased to know this is from CNBC by way of this national survey that they do of grocery prices. That the cost of this year's holiday feast for a 10-person gathering is $58.08 or $5.81 a head, which has dropped 5% since last year, the lowest level since 2021, according to the nationwide survey of grocery prices. So I was curious what they were including in their dinner for 10 people.
Who's wrote this? Is the CNBC?
CNBC wrote it, but it's based on a market research firm that does this. And they've been doing it every year since like the 80s or something. The same items so that it theoretically, like it tells you the same basket of items, what it costs year over year. Mm-hmm. So they have for 10 people a 16-pound turkey for $25.67.
Okay.
12 ounces of cranberries for $2.35.
Okay.
3 pounds of sweet potatoes for $2.93. A half a pound each of carrots and celery, 84 cents. Mm-hmm. 16 ounces of green peas for $1.73. 2 9-inch pie shells, $3.40. A 14-ounce box of cube stuffing for $4.08.
All right.
1 dozen dinner rolls for $4.16. Pumpkin pie mix for $4.15. A gallon of milk for $3.21. and whipped cream for $1.81, a half a pint, which seems like an incredibly small amount of whipped cream. I mean, I know it gets bigger when you whip it, but still.
Sorry. Yeah. So the grand total is what?
$58.08. You'll notice they didn't buy like any butter, anything to make gravy.
And you're serving how many people?
10 people.
Yeah. No, maybe the first Thanksgiving, but that is not. That is not going to do it.
16 ounces of peas is like 1 can of peas for everybody. It's so sad. 1/2 pound each of carrots and celery. 1 box of cube stuffing. It's like the saddest Thanksgiving. So I understand if you buy the same basket of stuff every year, you can like compare. But this is the best part of the article and the survey that was done is they say if you adjust for inflation.
Oh.
If you adjust for inflation, it's the cheapest Thanksgiving meal in almost 40 years.
Oh, I see. This is Biden giving.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it's actually a really cheap Thanksgiving if you adjust for inflation.
Wait a second. If you adjust for inflation,
if you adjust for inflation, it got cheaper.
Oh, I see. So
if you don't account for the fact that things got more expensive.
Okay, if you take away the price,
right,
then it's cheap.
If you don't count the price increases, it actually got cheaper.
Oh, I see. Oh, that is something to be thankful for. Wow. Can you imagine? By the way, that's great. Freaking, that's great.
That's my favorite part. If you adjust for inflation, it's the cheapest Thanksgiving in the 39-year history of them doing this, other than the outlier of 2020. Also, their graph, you can see like all the years since Biden took office are like way higher than all the other years.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, if you adjust for inflation, it got way cheaper.
Right. Yeah, you can flatten that down a little bit if you adjust for inflation. That's amazing. Having you list off those items reminds me of something. It'll remind our listeners of something as well, Allison. I want to know if this rings a bell to you. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
List off some items again.
Wait, sorry, I just have to look at the chat. Rudy says it would cost $60 to poison a family of 4 at McDonald's. True. Tommy in New Hampshire says Tom would do better in the rotten food section.
Damn straight, man.
Julian Bell say the Thanksgiving special is Tom accidentally walks out with two items instead of 1.
Did you guys see the All You Can Eat podcast? The what I got at the Market Basket last night? Mm-hmm. As I was contemplating talking to the man, I got these sausages for $1.99 and hot dogs. A big thing of hot dogs for $1.99. Those have gone into the deep freeze now, Alice. $1.99.
Nice.
It's like they expire like today, so they're going to be frozen in amber, and then they will be fed to our kids, and our kids will succumb to toxins. So list off some food items again. I'm going to ask you guys who recognizes this.
Wait, the same food items?
You list off the same food items.
Hang on, let me go.
You have nice teeth. Do you have braces?
I'm not going to talk about it.
Maybe I can find a picture of those of you with braces, and perhaps the world would like to see it.
16-pound turkey, $25.67. Mm-hmm. Cranberries, $2.35. Sweet potatoes, $2.93. Half pound each carrots and celery, 84 cents.
Here we go.
Yes.
Tell me if you recognize this else. I know that some of you guys will. Let me know if you do. Oh, sorry. Here we go.
Now don't forget a loaf of bread, a container of milk, and a stick of butter. If you can't remember, I'll write it down for you.
That's okay, Mommy. I won't forget. I remember.
You showed me before.
You've seen this? It's not an ad, I don't think.
Or whatever. You showed me this.
A loaf of bread, a container of milk, and a stick of butter.
This was drilled into our heads as kids. We would just say this and sometimes just blurt it out, even when we were 17. It's a loaf of bread.
A loaf of bread, a container of milk, and a stick of butter. A loaf of bread, a container of milk, and a stick of butter. A loaf of bread, a container of milk, and a stick of butter. A loaf of bread, a container of milk, and a stick of butter. A loaf of bread, a container of milk, and a stick of butter. Mister, could I have a loaf of bread, a container of milk, and... Gee, I can't remember. Can you remember what my mommy said?
A loaf of bread, a container of milk, and a stick of butter.
I think that sounds good.
A loaf of bread, a container of milk, and a stick of butter.
A stick of butter. I remembered. Mommy, I remember. A loaf of bread, a container of milk, and a stick of butter.
You have a good memory, honey.
Thank you, Mommy.
Just think, at that time, we were also carpet bombing Vietnam.
Those were the
a loaf of bread,
days.
a container of milk, and a stick of butter. You know what's weird? Is it along with Sesame Street at that time? That's from Sesame Street. Was the Electric Company. Do you remember the Electric Company? Hey, you guys.
Mm-mm.
It's amazing because the Electric Company was also like weird sketches, etc. too. Come on. Here we go. Let's just go.
Little girl. Little girl. Cotton candy can cause cavities.
It's a weird time, Alice. She's eating cotton candy.
We're gonna turn it on. We're gonna bring in the power. We're gonna light up the dark night like the brightest.
So it shows the cast there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's five people.
Uh-huh.
Mostly people of color.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the 5 cast members is Morgan Freeman.
Oh.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing that this was really a thing and this happened. And then when it get you started on Newzoo Review. Do you know the Newzoo Review?
No.
Bad things, Alice. The 70s were an effed up time with a lot of effed up
I believe you.
programming. Between that and having to watch the Red Balloon. Did you see the Red Balloon?
You talk to me about it.
Everybody
Yeah.
had to see it. We all saw the Red Balloon, which is a story that didn't make any sense. It had no plot. It was just psychedelic, as if we were all on acid trips. Oh,
What a time.
it was in French.
Did you see anything of The View today?
No, dude, what's up?
They had to issue 4 more legal notes.
No!
I sent us that,
Oh,
too.
they
I
are
can
so
read
in
it.
deep kimchi, that means. That is great. If The View is all legal notes, I will watch it every day. Oh, maybe that should be. Yeah, that's great. Oh, how fantastic.
Before you go on, I just got a note. We have to clarify that Santos eventually reached a plea deal after pleading guilty to wire fraud and aggravated identity theft.
Is that a legal note? What a nice legal
Kind
note.
of. All right. Kind of.
Sound
Before you go on,
Hold on.
I just got a
That's
note. We have.
one.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, everyone. I have another legal note.
God.
Both Trump and Pam Bondi have denied allegations of a quid pro quo that his past donation played any role in her office's decision to not take legal action against Trump University when she was, of course, the Attorney General of Florida.
Oh, this show is. She will.
And there is also some bribery accusations. I have a legal note.
You want to take this one, Joy, or are you
Matt
good?
Gaetz
That's amazing. So,
I guess this is actually Friday, but
well,
still,
regardless. So that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So are they afraid of civil lawsuits? They're afraid of Gates is going to sue them? Or are they afraid of the new incoming attorney general is going to put them behind bars? Or both?
I don't know.
It's great, though. Oh, freaking fantastic. Oh, that's fantastic. Man, I'll take that anytime. What's next, Albie? How long are we into this particular show?
Like
By the
30
way-
minutes? Did you see the French are doing topless protests?
I did see that, and those usually go badly. This one, I'm appreciative of the collection of people.
Yeah. They
Is that
look
what
like-
you were doing yesterday during the show?
No, I was not protesting.
Yeah, there is. There's good topless protests, and then there's bad topless protests.
Yeah.
I'm all for the good
And
ones.
my last thing that I have, I'm not even sure like what they're protesting.
I don't
really,
know.
But
We like these protesters, though.
and then did you see Cook County Board of Review Commissioner Samantha Steele being arrested for DUI in Chicago?
Oh, I heard about this. Oh, that's fantastic. This is a.
I think
know
you'll
who I
like
am?
her too.
Hold on. How far down is she? Or is she up?
I don't know. I can resend it to you too. But yeah, she's pretty great also.
Oh, here we go. I got it.
She taunted the officer for his
Nice.
size.
Ma'am, if you don't exit the vehicle, I'm gonna help you to exit, and you don't want that.
You don't want that.
I
I'm
do.
an elected official.
I actually do. Elected official of what?
Cook County.
Cook County. You elected which office?
You don't want that. You don't want that. Is this straight up Alice Shattuck? Straight up Alice Shattuck.
Not me.
Yes, it is.
What's your name?
I'm Sam.
Sam who?
Hey, Sarge, is it okay for her friend tells her to walk out, to step out?
No, she's saying she's an elected official of Cook County. Okay.
Oh, cop's getting into this. He's like, we are fully recording. This is great.
Oh, you are on video.
You are on video.
You are
It
on
has
video,
to be on
ma'am.
video. Yes, ma'am.
So you need
I'll
to.
wait for my attorney.
Okay.
Nope, I'm waiting for my attorney.
So she's
right
not
thing-
exiting.
We like this.
We're gonna have to make
Kind
it.
of a looker, Alice.
I thought you'd like her.
We are a fan of this lady.
Keep going.
We do. She is not compliant right now, as you can see.
Does she?
And she'd say she's an elected official of something we don't even know.
Does she need to be compliant at this moment?
Of course she does. She was
Well, I
involved in
mean,
an
can she
accident.
wait? Can she wait for her attorney?
No.
Well, regardless of
She
the
was
attorney being here
involved
or
in an
not,
accident.
we still
Okay.
have to conduct a field
Even if
survival.
the attorney is here, there's nothing he's gonna tell her. She was involved in an accident and we're doing our investigation. And obviously she doesn't want to. Ma'am. Okay, here's the thing. You were involved in an accident, correct? So you're gonna have to exit. If you don't exit, then we're gonna make you exit.
Accident hit the car.
Can you give her a
Sorry,
second?
that's
I think you should do
Give her a
that.
second.
That's all you have to do.
That's the attorney.
Get out of
That's
the
all you
car.
have to exit.
I think that's
Attorney's like, oh shit. Oh god, how wasted are you, Pam? How wasted are you right there, Pam?
Okay, so you exit.
What is it?
I think it's Sam.
Sam, okay.
you need to get out of the car. Yes, do that. That's all you got to do, and then wait for me. I'll be there in 10 minutes.
I'm waiting for him.
Yeah, you gotta come out.
You get out of the car.
Exit the car.
Be careful with traffic. Stay right here. Stay right here. We don't want you to go out, get involved in the accident.
Okay.
Fine.
Now you can hang up the phone, ma'am.
No.
We're still doing our
My
investigation.
attorney.
Okay. Now, tell your attorney, since he's on the phone, are you going to do field sobriety tests or no?
No.
She just told the attorney no. It's fantastic. Fantastic.
No,
Are you
wait,
being
wait.
arrested? You say no. I was waiting for that. I was waiting for that. You were waiting for that. Because she just refused. I asked her to do field sobriety tests and she refused. And she smelled like alcohol. She's been drinking. Oh, so you've been recorded all this
You
time.
gotta let her go.
You've been recorded.
You gotta let her go.
All right? What happened?
Of course it was happened.
I guess.
Because I
Well, it's fine to go there, but she just wants to be looked at. So.
Oh my god, you guys are
I mean, it's illegal to drink and drive.
Yeah, so you're gonna have open alcohol in the car.
Yeah, you gotta take her.
Can I go with you?
Oh, the attorney, saving the day.
She's gonna have to go.
Coming right now.
Because she had her head.
All right, she's gonna go ahead.
No, I need to see my attorney.
He's right there.
He's here.
Right there. The cover. Sir, she's been placed in custody for driving under the influence of alcohol.
Field sobriety.
She's got a bunch of vehicles right
She has
there.
an open bottle of wine in the
That's her
vehicle.
open bottle of wine in the car.
I am in love with this woman. Samantha Steele. Fantastic.
So,
I didn't drink it. It was like.
What?
same.
Okay.
Part of the best.
The bottle
The green
downstairs
one, yeah.
is new. In his thing, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. We don't call it that in the podcast, James.
Listen to him.
All right, well.
No. Not yet. Mirandizing her, nothing. She refused to feel. She's gonna take her. She's gonna go to an ambulance, and then they're gonna go with her. Okay, we still got how many cars did she crash into?
Two cars.
Two cars.
And that car's not drivable.
Regular traffic.
Yeah, switch.
I'll do the 511.
We'll switch. Okay. Let's go from right here.
I got all the stuff on the phone. I'll give you the phone.
Watch your step. Careful. Do you have Banda's number?
Does she actually say the quote?
Yeah, at some point here she does.
So they're bringing her to the car right now. To the paddy wagon.
Right.
Or ambulance.
Yeah, so she asked the officer, is your
So she does
really that small?
Are you going to do field sobriety?
Right here.
I got all the stuff on the phone.
Yeah, it's a silent from here on. I guess she does.
Regular traffic crash?
No, they're the way you're saying, so I don't know.
No, this one.
Yes,
Okay.
I don't know.
Who's doing this one? We are. Regular traffic crash? And this, then I'll do the 5-0 part.
Okay, I guess it's not on.
Julian Bell says that she's a government hack, lock her up. But Tommy in New Hampshire says he'll drop her off at jail. So
We like her just fine. Tell people what she says?
she asked the officer, is your, you know what, really that small?
Just say the word, Alice.
I can't say that word on
You've
the
said it
podcast.
before. You used the C word for it before.
She said, is your penis really that small?
Wow.
So, yeah. She crashed into 2 cars. And did they say she had an open bottle of wine in the
Yes.
car?
We are a fan of Samantha Steele. Absolutely. When you're dating your finance guy, or I guess I'm dead in that scenario, right? Yeah, well. The one last thing I have, Alice, to talk about is I mentioned on the air today that I have a very classy, very happiness-inducing Christmas tree that I've set up, and I've had it. This is year number 3. It is fake. It is white. It is wonderful. It doesn't leave needles. It is beautiful. And my daughter this morning absolutely, see, no,
Yep.
it's not. That's my son. It absolutely slammed my Christmas tree.
The kids all hate it.
Alice now suddenly, how dare you? You are the Lorax all over again. He says you are cold Serbian, vodka wearing high heels.
I like that real tree.
Melania Trump.
My mom's a Yankee, so.
Okay. No. So anyway, I pled my case to my audience, and Gigi got back to me. Says artificial trees are better since you have it year after year. Save money that way. Exactly. They have real nice artificial ones that look almost like a real one. Balsam Fir is the brand, and they have lights already attached and easy to set up. Well, we don't have
a really nice one.
I think it's very nice. I think it's contemporary and cool, and I'm all for that. Enough green. Enough. You know what? Enough. I'm enough with. I married down culturally, so I am not doing the waspy thing anymore. Green Christmas trees with white lights, because if not, it just shows it's the wink wink Stanley Cup mom. Yes, we're mom of a certain tax bracket here. Those days are over. I am giving a nod to Eastern Europe and my wife's culture and background, and that's what the tree we have. Now it's loud, cosmopolitan. It seems like there should be absolute vodka.
Have a Yule log called the Badnyak.
There's no.
It's
I call this tree the Banyak, as a matter of fact. I'm on team fake
We sing
tree.
a song about it.
And the audience has spoken, and they're on team fake tree as well. So there you go. And if my daughter was speaking to us, she would also say that she's on team fake tree.
Yes, we're in trouble with our daughter
Okay.
because we said no hanging out on the town on school nights. So.
Okay, are you ready?
For what?
Cha-cha?
Oh, yeah. I thought there was something else coming that I wasn't aware of. You never know with Tom Shattuck.
Okay. Ooh, here we go. Here we go.
Hey guys, as a follow-up to what I had mentioned on Sunday night's Burn Barrel about not giving the left the ability to get under our skin when it comes to some issues, let's say the Nancy Mace one, for example.
Right.
You all realize that on January 20th, Trump's just going to come in, lay the hammer down, and none of this stuff is going to matter because he's going to dictate what goes on. He's going to acknowledge what he wants to acknowledge, not acknowledge what he doesn't want to acknowledge, and there's going to be normalcy in the White House. So all this chit-chat over the next 2 months is kind of useless because on January 20th, things are going to change. So why give these people their day's due right now when none of this is going to matter on January 20th? You're just feeding the beast. Don't do it.
I'm sorry for wheezing, but no, we talk about stuff. And you're right, Steve, in the sense that on January 20th, the things are just going to go forward. But it's interesting watching the process and the nomination process. And I've got to say that I'm astounded that the temperature of the country has been taken down for the most part. I am astounded at this. This new poll, the CBS poll that I think we mentioned briefly yesterday, that shows the majority of Americans like Trump's ideas in transition, talking about 60%, is astounding. It's amazing. And I didn't see it. I didn't see that. And I think he's doing a lot right so far. And I don't know what's happened. Maybe this is what happens when you get grazed by a bullet. But there is the majority of Americans are all for mass deportation. Then mass deportation is going to come. And it's going to look to the DC media and progressive media like the ugliest thing they've ever seen. But the majority of Americans are going to be right on. Absolutely.
Yeah, I kind of feel that even like the media has lost the hunger to treat this like the Third Reich.
Totally agree.
It just doesn't, they don't seem to have like the energy to do it again.
And last time.
And like I saw some of them with all the appointments, especially on Friday, a bunch of them over the weekend were like, my God, once again, the fire hose of news. We can't keep up with all the craziness of the Trump administration. It's so exhausting. But like a lot of them are just like, yeah. Okay.
And I think also part of it is that one, he won outright. Two, what do you make of this? Like he put this huge union lady as the Department of Labor. It's like who the Teamsters love. He's throwing curveballs. He's got a big mask person as the Surgeon General. It's like the guy is all over the place. So, I mean, it's just kind of amazing to watch this very unorthodox coalition of people in the cabinet. And it's just kind of fascinating. I'm sorry, and I hate to talk like this, but he kind of broke the template now. And it's not scary. It's just simply not. And between that and the fact that the guy, I think people have had enough. We've said that people have had enough of disco. People have had enough of disco. They're sick of it. They don't want to hear people talking about 2S LGBTQIA+. They don't want to hear people talking about stakeholders, about centering people, about that everything is racism. They don't want. People are so polar. And this election was not a 90-10 election, but I think certainly people are sick of the horse bleep. And a lot of it has to do with LGBTQ+. A lot of it has to do with all the racism stuff. And in fact, people have had a chance now to be influenced by the dark web, by the podcast revolution, and a lot of the stuff that they had stuck on Trump has been cast off. It just he didn't do it. Like he does indeed have a gold toilet. He does have a spray tan or something happening. He does have odd hair, but he's not a vile Hitler. And I'm sorry that there are also like stories about just watching the Trump thing that I've been watching is it's the guys. It's amazing that he made it to where he made it. And then lost it, and then made it again. This is the guy. The tenacity in this guy is just something that, as a human, you look at it and you say, "Wow, this freaking guy." Like I never got into the stupid, the Apprentice. Like I've never seen an Apprentice episode. I would never watch that. I don't care about that. I always thought he was it was an act. I never thought that he was like a serious guy when that was on, or we used to joke 20 years ago that he wasn't like that rich, because he wasn't, because we worked at the Omni Hotel, and the Omni Hotel owner was much richer than him, and we were like, oh, who's freaking Trump, really? But he has shown a strength of character in a way, in a resolve that's unfreaking believable. So I'm excited about it. All right, was I playing a message, or is that over? Are we done? Okay, let me find out next.
A lot of discussion about the origin of the name Shattuck in the chat. I've pasted in some of your family history, including the Memorials of the Descendants of William Shattuck book.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Thank you. Yeah, we got some bad... My dad had some bad information.
Tommy wants to know which family member kissed men for free beer. I just say the mighty have fallen. The Memorials of the Descendants of William Shattuck book was written at a time when people were getting into eugenics.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, Lemuel Shattuck, wanted to make sure that people understood that Shattocks were like of good stock.
Hey,
so,
by the way,
is why he chronicled all this. But he is very careful to say that like Shattocks don't have problems with stuff like that too.
Hey,
so
by the way, let the
mighty have fallen.
Let Tim and Canton, let the Irish know that in the Irish Famine Memorial in Boston, Lemuel Shattuck's name is mentioned as having saved some rear ends there. So there you go to my Hibernian friends.
I'm not impressed by the name Pearly either.
How dare they?
Rudy feels that he doesn't think it's British.
Oh! Rudy! Freaking... Oh!
Alice, great going bringing up that Colorado Park Karen that had a meltdown over a dog.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about that when I called Tom on WTIC today, because I had a meltdown about liberals and the craziness. But
not British. Dare he?
you get Tom to quit giving dating advice to men on the radio.
No. There's a caller, you don't know about him. There's a caller named Luke who's got a wife. He's 43. Sometimes he's 39. Depends. And he's got a wife, and he doesn't know whether they should have kids, but he also has a friend who's a woman who's extremely beautiful, he says, who he really likes to hang out with as a friend, and she's extremely beautiful. And he wants to know what he should be doing.
Sounds like a recipe for disaster.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
I forgot the one guy, Gustavo or something. Told him to go to Chicago. We don't need liberals coming to Chicago, to my hometown. We have beautiful women there.
It's full of liberals.
And Connecticut boy can't.
No. That's a different guy I told to go to Chicago because they're not attitudinal. Like I told you before, I went to North Avenue Beach Club, and this blonde woman in a bikini who's gorgeous just started talking to me because like they're friendly in Chicago. That's why you go. That's why I went for 20 years.
Hang with it. I'm just saying, and it's just insane. This guy calls up all the time crying about can't find a woman. But that's neither here nor there. I'm just ranting.
Well, I thought I was all done. I had some prospects when I first met Alice. The show I was part of.
They weren't as good.
There was one who was better. There was one.
No.
That girl, Alexandria, she was a 10.0. And you, what was I doing taking Sam to the beach that night? Ridiculous. Went to the Hard Rock Cafe. Where
we all have regrets.
What? What do you mean?
But that Colorado girl in the park,
yes,
needs a mental health institution like 90% of this country.
I agree with that.
When you got someone saying that Congress is going to walk out 385 members, military perp walk, we had some mental illness. Open the hospitals, open them, put Tom in charge.
Here we
go.
Night. Here we go. I would love that. I can't be in charge of a mental hospital because they just can't. It's just not good. Some of us aren't made to be doing that.
Hi, Habibis.
Hey.
Y'all need to tell me if I can claim victory in my prediction about the Matt Gaetz nomination. Because my theory was that it was going to be a head fake. It was going to be a rope-a-dope. And then when he wasn't confirmed, Trump could say, hey, we acquiesce to you, and then replace him with a monster.
Here we go.
However, I did not predict that he was just going to withdraw his nomination or whatever the hell Matt Gaetz did. So does this count as me being right in this prediction
Close
or
enough.
not really?
Yeah, pretty close.
You decide.
Close
Love you.
enough.
Bye.
I think Matt Gaetz was trying to get out of the ethics report being released.
Oh, right. He didn't replace him with a monster. He replaced him with a blondster.
Ooh, good one.
See that?
Wow.
The finance guy can think of that.
Hey, Tommy.
Hey, Tommy.
You know, Tom, over the years, I've been listening since just about day one.
Yeah.
And I've overlooked many of your faults as a man. Your inability to repair broken items.
Yep.
Drinking Trulies.
Well, yeah.
Kissing men in bars for free drinks.
I let him kiss me. That was Paul. I let him kiss me. That was 1993, I think. I did not kiss him. I let him kiss me. There's a totally different thing. I didn't make him pass at Paul for drinks. That said,
Being a fan of Liberace.
what? I'm a freaking fan of Liberace. I know nothing about Liberace.
But this whole, I love watching Hallmark.
I do love that. Alice likes it too, right?
Yeah.
And those black movies.
But not
What are those
Outlander,
called? What are the
apparently.
What are the black ones called? The black movies that we watch.
Well,
where
there's some
it's
of
all
those that are
really
all-
handsome black people and beautiful black people, educated in
It's
mansions.
like Hallmark movies, but with black people. In
Yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah. I think there's a word for it. But yeah, we like I like very generic, like Hallmark, Lifetime, if that's the channel anymore.
Like we like Jumping the Broom was a good
Right.
one.
Where
that was all black
everybody
people.
is better than us. And all
Yeah.
their things are nicer.
Everyone's rich. All the houses are
Yes.
clean and look nice, and like it's very fake, but
Yes.
it's nice.
Yes,
It's nice to feel like life could be that way.
That is an escape.
That's the hill I'm going to die on.
Oh, come on, Tommy.
Turn in your man card.
Oh. Ridiculous.
Well, he won't watch Outlander, so there's that.
No, I'm not watching Outlander. I am done. Although I was tempted, since they did show like the American Revolution, I was like, yeah, can I find a place for it? I don't understand how all these people have all these time to watch all these shows. I'm not talking about you, Toast, or Mr. Toast, or whatever, but like I listen to the commentary podcast, and they're always like, "Oh, you got to check out this new Netflix. Check out this new." Like, what the freak are you doing? Jesus, God, I failed at life.
Hey guys, it's Rudy again, real quick.
Hey, Rudy.
Mm-hmm.
I sent you two things, DM, Burn Barrel, DM on Twitter. Two different dogs, military service dogs, veterans
Here we go.
of Afghanistan, Iraq, eating a free steak at Texas Roadhouse
Damn.
on Veterans Day.
Great, that's
and the
great.
other one was at Morton's.
Nice.
And people are having an uproar on Twitter about it. They're better behaved than most kids. I'll take two military veteran service dogs, actual dogs that served in the military, over a lot of people and their kids.
Yes.
Have a good one.
Absolutely, all for it.
That being said, people now abuse the service dog thing, which is going to ruin it for everybody. People have turned against them. But anyway, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for the great chat messages. We will talk to you tomorrow. If you want to join for the live chat and stuff like that, that's at patreon.com/burnbarrel. You can also always listen for free. There's links to all different places at burnbarrelpodcast.com.
C'est la vie.